Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, 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 welcome. It is April. Well, obviously, it is the 3rd of April, and I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Some depressing news have hit Arsenal, even more than it could have hit, let's be real. But ultimately, we have gone down to wait, wrong button. Sorry. Unfortunately, we have come down to this. Gabriel Magalash. We all know him. We all love him. Our best center back, our best defender, arguably in the last year and a half, has been hit with a hamstring injury. Hamstring injury for Gabriel comes at the worst time possible because Real Madrid is just around the corner, and let's be real, with Gabriel, we maybe could have had a hope, especially at Bernabeu, maybe to some extent, even if we had any hope. But now, we have nothing. Genuinely nothing. And I don't know what to expect right now. Because I don't know what's going to happen with Timber. I know there are reports that it's just a knock, but we're going to see. No idea what's happening with Ben White, with Calafiori. And more it looks like we will be playing Kivior or someone like that at center back for basically till the end of the season almost. Unless we decide to play Ben White as a center back or basically shuffle Saliba to left center back and then play Timber as the right center back. Who knows? Genuinely, who knows? But I was quite excited to do today's stream, I'm not gonna lie. But the news that how bad it is, obviously, to some level I expected that because he came off, it looked very bad. He couldn't even put way too much on that on the foot, so that meant grade 2, grade 3. Obviously, as an Arsenal fan, I was expecting for something less, so maybe he can come back. But grade 3, he needs a surgery. Is the third grade 3 injury we have had this season. 4, if you count, well, Reece Nelson. And overall, we have had like 4 or 5 hamstring injuries alone this season, which ultimately is very, very, very worrying, to say the least. But ultimately, the statement from Real Madrid from Arsenal said that Gabi will undergo a surgical repair procedure to his hamstring in the coming days and immediately begin his recovery and rehabilitation program with the aim to be ready for the start of next season. So, he's done. He is done, and if there was even the slightest hope that our season wasn't done, maybe in Champions League, maybe even in Premier League to some extent, it is right now. It ultimately is right now. So that is one of the things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about injuries, who is to blame, what's going to happen, how Arsenal could look in the nearest future. That's the first thing. And second thing is Mikel Arteta claims, because before the Fulham game, he came out very openly, which he doesn't do, to be honest, too often, and said, we're going to have a massive window. We're generally going to have a massive window. But can we trust him? That is the biggest question. Because I'm excited that we have Andrea Berta as the sporting director at the moment. But Mikel Arteta saying that we're going to have a massive window. Rumors of having 300 million war chest is also being thrown around. I'm still waiting for the 150, 200 million war chest from 2012. By the way, it's been more of a decade, still haven't seen it. And I hear that almost every single transfer window. So hey, we are where we are. So we're going to talk about, can we trust him? Can this work? Will we sign anyone? And what's gonna be happening next? Because ultimately that is what it is, I guess. That is what it is. So smash the like button for the pain. 1 like, 1 less pain. Let's just put it that way. Subscribe if you're new around here. And of course, leave your thoughts down in the live chat, because definitely this is something we will discuss to a very big extent. Let's just put it that way. So, Gabriel is out. We have talked about that. And this is the big thing. Can you see this? This is the big one. This is the big one. Basically, ChatGPT, I know, but it combines all the stats and everything, so it was much quicker for me. In football, grade 3 hamstring tears are quite rare, right? Compared to grade 2 and obviously grade 1. Grade 3 hamstring tears, ruptures that need surgery, are around 3 to 7% of all the hamstring injuries players tend to get, right? From hamstring injuries specifically. And people may say it's just a bad luck. Let's be real, people may say it's just bad luck that we have hit 3, you can count 4 if you count Reece Nelson as well, in one season. But ultimately, it's quite heavily to some extent on Mikel Arteta. Let's just put it that way. Obviously, you can encounter training, which is on Mikel Arteta. Let's be real, the way he's pushing players, overplaying players, player management is non-existent. Pretty much because we have no bench. And of course, as I said, no bench, it's also on Mikel Arteta because he gets to call the shots for transfers. Well, up until now, I would like to think so, given that Berta has now come in. And he decides who we sign. The small squad of 22 men is built by design. And yeah, we are where we are right now. So people can gaslight this how they want, that it's not Mikel Arteta. Let's be real. It is Mikel Arteta's doing to many, many, many extents, in my opinion. But this now leaves Arsenal in a very peculiar situation. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Mob. Big up, Mob. Hope you're doing well today. Hope the Gabriel news didn't hit you too hard. Another one that requires... Exactly. Another one that requires a surgery. I think it could be just adrenaline maybe in the beginning, but ultimately scans show that he needs a surgery. He's out till the next season. And this is the third one. Let's be real, Bukayo Saka is one. Havertz is the other one. And Gabriel is the third one. Nelson it would be the fourth. But the big thing is, we mostly get hamstring injuries. And that again is now on the pitch. Training pitch arguably, because that's basically where we train. And there are reports obviously in the old days back that England even refused to train at Arsenal's training ground because the ground is so hard. Maybe that's one of the reasons. Other one is something that Calafiori said in an interview when he just got joined and he had 1 or 2 months under the belt at Arsenal, that they don't do trainings like they do in Italy. It's not maybe longer, easier, it's evened out, but they do it a bit less often, but much, much more intense, right? And I think the intensity, the way they get pushed as well, is one of the main contributors to that. I know I'm not on a lot of energy today, and that's solely because of Gabriel and how we are looking at the moment. That after 5 years we are in this type of shit, I don't know where to go, because whether you like it or not, one of the first indications was Saliba, wasn't it? 3 years ago, when we were 2 seasons ago, or 2.5, let's just put it that way, when he got injured against Sporting Lisbon, and we had to play Rob Holding instead of him. And now we are in a position where we have to play Kiwior instead of Gabriel. Obviously, finding proper backups is not the thing. We can find every single defender we want who plays about 55 positions, but Gabriel and Saliba, whether you like, no matter how you look at it, is one of the best center-back pairings in Europe, arguably in the world even. They complement each other perfectly. And even against Fulham yesterday, you could see that, not yesterday, 2 days ago, you could see that once Gabriel came off, Saliba wasn't the same. Wasn't the same. He got a bit exposed. Let's just put it that way. You could see Jimenez roughing him up. He was out of his comfort zone because he had to do most of the work. And now with the idea that Kiwior actually could be playing next to him, he will have to step up and show what he's got. Because as I've been saying this for the longest time, that Gabriel is our best defender for a year and a half. Let's just put it that way. And Saliba is up there, but he's not at that level. Like, he's been underperforming a bit. At least that's how it felt, right? And now, as Top Gunners wanted to push to say that Gabriel isn't the best one, Saliba is the best one. So this is the time where he has to step up and show it. Especially when he has to cover Kiwior. He will have to cover right side as well. Because I have no idea what's going to happen with Timber. There are reports saying that it's a knock. How long that knock is going to last? Will he be playing against Real Madrid? What's going to happen further? Who knows? One thing I do know, I don't want him starting against Everton whatsoever. Give him the rest. Season is done anyways in Premier League. Might as well put Partey as a right back. Although we have won only one game with Partey as a right back out of 6, 7? So that already is then a lost game. Everton is going to play old school, tough, rough football. So that means We are in trouble. Let's just put it that way. And yeah, I'm kind of lost for words in this instance. That is the biggest thing. And the best part, you know what, I'm gonna say this. This might be a bit controversial. Obviously, we'll have to wait till tomorrow till we see this. By the way, big up Kendon Gunner. Big up. Big up my guy. All in the chat. Big up everyone. Big up to him and everyone. One of the biggest things is tomorrow, obviously, is the pre-Everton press conference for Mikel Arteta, right? And I can guarantee you he's gonna say this. It's a miracle that we are second, still in Champions League quarterfinals, about to face Real Madrid, with all the injuries, red cards, and all this crap we've been getting. He said that before, and he's gonna say it again. And as awful as it sounds, he's gonna make himself sound like he's the next Messiah, like he's Gandhi or something, right? And what's the worst part is, all the top gooners, all the journalists are gonna eat it up like nothing. They're gonna say, oh, he is right. If the other teams had those injuries, we wouldn't be in this situation. But last year, we didn't have any injuries, and we still screwed it up. And by the way, last year, Liverpool wasn't actually that far off us as well. They were leading the league up until April, until they fell off. Right? Mohamed Salah went to AFCON and everything. He missed 12 games, including AFCON, and he got injured. He missed 12 games. In that time, Liverpool won 10 of those. Like, there are no excuses for Mikel Arteta. After 5 years, rebuild within the rebuild for the rebuild about the rebuild, 800 million nearly spent, and we don't have replacements? No backup for Saka, no Odegaard replacement, no striker, no midfielder replacement, proper one. We don't have a center back replacement for Saliba. Our left back situation is in utter garbage. We have signed about 20 left backs, let's be real. We're gonna sign another one probably next summer as well. And the worst part is, from all the left backs we have signed, none of them are left backs. Kivior is a center back, Calafiori is a center back, Tomiyasu is actually a center back who can play just all across the back line. Who else we have? Zinchenko is a midfielder, Miles Lewis-Skelly is a midfielder. We have played Granit Xhaka there, he's a midfielder. Timber has played there, he's a right back / center back as well. Bukayo Saka has played left back, by the way. That was before, obviously, but he has played as a left back, but he's a right winger. Like, Havertz plays left back for Germany at times. I don't know what he's even, let's be real. So we actually, after all this money, haven't even signed a proper left back. Like, make it make sense. The season is over for sure. In fact, it was over before it started due to the failed transfer window in the summer. Exactly. Oh, but it was 7 out of 10 window, 8 out of 10 window, as we got told, every single time. Robbie from AFTV told Havertz is gonna score 20 Premier League goals this season. It was February when he got injured, by the way. He had 9. 9. As a German, 9 means no. No goals for you. No titles for you. And everything. Let's be real. What are we doing here? The best summer window would see Arteta. Yeah. Best summer window. This could be arguably the best half a year, potentially, for Arsenal. We sign Berta, we sack Arteta, and we get proper manager, and we go do business. Actually, could be kind of nuts. 300 million war chest, right? Take away those 30, 40 million. I don't give a damn. Pay Arteta off, make him go. I'm good. 250 million still left. If all these reports are true. But I've been hearing war chests for what, a decade now? Over a decade. Still haven't seen one. Everton going to bully the fuck out of Arsenal on Saturday, and Arsenal players will be ducking out of challenges in order. Yeah, 100%, let's be real. Arsenal hate when teams get rough with them. Hence why we struggle against these teams many times. We saw how it went for us last year against Luton Town away. Remember those days? We always struggle against Everton. They are one of our bogey teams, just like Burnley, Fulham, maybe not 2 days ago, but in general, Fulham. And all these teams, Southampton, who we play, by the way, away on the last day of the season, and everything. Like, when teams get rough with us, we disappear. Fully and utterly disappear. I still remember when Onana was at Everton. Onana, right? I think so, it was Onana or Lavia. I'm genuinely blanking on this. I always get them mixed up, by the way. He was a one-man show. One-man show, run all over us. Guimaraes, Joe Linton, run all over us. for Newcastle. Same goes for Aston Villa, Rodgers, McGinn, Douglas Luiz, all run over us. As soon as you get physical, tough with Arsenal, they disappear. Martin Odegaard, 50-50 challenges, instantly ducks out. Every single time. Every time he has a 70-30 chance to get the ball, he ducks out. Unless it's a 100% chance. All the freaking time. And that is our captain, by the way. He is leading by example. Ducking out of every single challenge. Sick one. Sick one. By the way, also, while we are on these random subjects, did you see as well that Dan Potts was saying that Lee Judges in the stadium was, in the last minutes against Fulham, Martinelli was going on a counter, right? And Arteta was genuinely vexed. He was screaming, yelling at Martinelli, why are you going forward? Stay back at left wing back. Keep the position. Keep parking the bus. Play it safe. When we were 2-0 up, that was even before it was 2-1. Imagine that. Imagine that. We have a chance to go on a counter. Arteta says, nope, stay back, defend, and all this stuff. And that could happen against Real Madrid as well. Did you hear a gal on Dan Potts show last night claiming Saka is back as good as before seeing him play there? Yep, I saw that. Today, one thing I love about my work, right, is the fact that I can listen to streams, podcasts that I miss during the day. Or nights, because I have to sleep, obviously. Plus, I'm still sick. I'm still not 100%. I'm about 70%. So I kind of can do that to some extent, right? And I was listening and everything. It was actually insane what I heard yesterday on the podcast. It was actually insane. The claims and everything Igal was making. You combine Madrid 11s when there are half of Arsenal team in there. And he wants to tell that if you have 24 players in the team and we need to sell or let go about 10 of them, it's not a rebuild. You're leasing almost half the squad, for fuck's sake. How is that not a rebuild? We need the rebuild for the rebuild, because the rebuild that we did for the rebuild didn't work, basically. It's rebuildception or something. Stick Sterling as a right back. Nope. Don't want to see Sterling touch pitch. Don't want to see him touch pitch, by the way. And it's actually kind of nuts. 3 marquee signings last summer. Calafiori, Merino, and Sterling, right? Sterling doesn't play. Arteta evidently doesn't trust him. Calafiori is injured all the time. Another Bologna signing that's going very, very well. Remember, Tomiyasu. He is alive, by the way. There were pictures. He is also from Bologna, also injury prone. Interesting how things work, don't they? Merino as well. Not even a starter for Arsenal. Calafiori gets outdone by Skelly. What's the other one? Merino doesn't get in front of anyone. We have spent 170 million for the left 8 spot to replace Granit Xhaka, who had one good season at Arsenal. That after that season, people are saying let him stay. Now we have spent 120, 130 million. Well, technically 200 if you can look at it that way. We tried Declan Rice there. We are playing Declan Rice, a 6 or a center back. We're playing as a number 8. That's never gonna work, because that is not his best position. We spend 65 million on Havertz for left 8. We play him as a striker. We spend 35 million on Merino for the left 8. We play him as a striker. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And let's be real, to some extent, I miss Granit Xhaka. Because with him in the team, Mikel Arteta actually put him in his proper position, and we actually looked somewhat decent. Obviously, Granit Xhaka left, and he won the double and everything with Bayer Leverkusen and all this stuff. But if I look at the signings we have made for that left 8 spot specifically, and how it has looked over the years, I would argue that Granit Xhaka is the best one. Better than Merino, better than, obviously, Havertz, and better than Declan Rice for that 8 spot. Because Rice, for me, is not an 8. He's a 6, maybe a center back, depends. He's grown up as a center back number 6, not as number 8. Arteta is completely trying to change him. Let's be real. And then you look at how we are playing Merino as a striker, right? He's doing better than Havertz, which makes Havertz signing look 10 times worse. Let's be real. As Lee Gunner said last night, up to 10 players could be on their way out of Arsenal this summer, so 300 million vouchers will do. To be honest, yeah, let's be real. That is also true. 300 million, arguably, can get you 4 or 5 good players, right? Maybe one of them can be a starter, maybe 2. Rest of them are bench players. But the thing is, we also need bench players. Because it's evident that Mikel Arteta doesn't trust any of them. We have starting 11 and maybe 2, maybe 3 subs. Which means the starting 11 pretty much doesn't get rotated, right? Which means they are played into the ground. Now add every Arsenal game, cups and everything, Champions League, Carabao, FA, Premier League, international games, friendlies, exhibitions, all these games you have, they play about 70, 80 games a season. What it feels, okay, 60 to 70, right? If you are one of the top players. And with no time to rest, let's be real. At some point the penny had to drop and the injuries had to start to pile up. It was a miracle we didn't get injured last year. This year it was bound to happen. Yet nobody's saying that. Nobody doesn't pay attention to that. Oh, but these injuries this year, these injuries then, for this team, that team. How about your own team? Look at your own team. We had fully fit squad last year, pretty much whole season. We didn't win it. We were chasing from behind, we didn't win it. 2 years ago, we were 8 points clear, we didn't win it. This year we have injuries, all of a sudden it's a crisis. When we didn't have injuries, nobody mentioned that. Now that we have injuries, everyone just loses their mind. After the Real Madrid matches in the Premier League games are all dead rubbers, the players will have done tools by then and season will go out with a whimper. Yeah. And to be honest, it's also not basically... it's not even said that we're gonna get second place, by the way. It's not guaranteed. Let's be real. It's not guaranteed we're gonna get second place. Nowhere close guaranteed. Because Forest are 4 points behind us. It's doable for them. City are 10 points behind us. Okay, that's a bit different. Might happen, might not. But with Gabriel out, with the injuries we have, and after we don't know what's gonna happen. One of the other things is, we don't do well under the pressure. Against Real Madrid, it will be the biggest of biggest pressures possible, arguably. Which means, if we go out to Real Madrid, we will have nothing to play for. There will be no pressure. Don't be surprised that after that, we actually do something good. We win games. And everything will be forgotten. One of the biggest issues with this fan base is that not about that there is no accountability, nobody calls shit out, but if you want to compile all that into one, nobody has memory. Because as soon as we get one win, every single bad thing that has happened years before is forgotten. Instantly. One win fixes everything, apparently. Like, make it make sense. Big up Nelly. Big up. Mixed feelings. Saka back. Gabriel cannot play no more. Yeah, it's nuts. It is nuts. Saka needs to be eased back. I would not start him against Everton or on Saturday. No, I would not start him against Everton as well. 100% I would not start him against Everton. Biggest thing is, I think he will play more than he played obviously against Fulham. But against Everton, I don't think it's the right thing. You know how they're gonna play. At Goodison, under Moyes, they are very tough, very rough. They will get into you. They will play into bone. And one wrong tackle from Tarkowski, Doucouré, someone, we're done. Saka is done. It doesn't take much, especially in this stage. That's what's the biggest worry. 800 million plus squandered, and we are scrapping the bottom of the barrel to field. Yeah, that is the biggest thing. We are squandering the bottom of the barrel to field 11 players on Saturday. That's how it is. And also the game against Liverpool, I want to say Liverpool, but Everton, right, is an early kickoff. We do very good in early kickoffs. And an early kickoff against Everton, oh bloody hell. Oh bloody hell. The worst part about all of this is, right, we've been calling this out. Saliba needs backup. Gabriel needs proper backup, right? And all this stuff. But going into the season, given how many defenders we have signed, that position, right, looked the most solid one, the defensive side. Because attack was screwed, let's be real. Midfield is unbalanced, but somehow manageable. Defense was the most solid one. Let's be real. But now the defense is one of the biggest issues. It's bad enough that we have no attack, kinda. We have no defense as well right now. That is also a very big worry. 300 million was also include players' wages, not 300 purely on the transfer fees. Yeah, you could say that, but that definitely is the case. But let's just say 200 million on the left eight alone. Rice, Havertz, and Merino. That is alone only 200. If you include players' wages, that's 300 million. And that doesn't include players like Sambi Lokongan that we have signed, Fabio Vieira, and all these guys as well, by the way. Merino is more... Yeah, Merino is more clinical. And that's what's laughable. Merino looks better as a striker than Havertz. And if you look at how they play, right? Merino has never been a striker or forward. Havertz has been in the forward situation for his whole life, pretty much. By Leverkusen, at Chelsea, at Arsenal. And he looks worse than Merino. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. When we signed Havertz, it was pretty much evident that Kai Havertz is gonna be the sword Mikel Arteta either is gonna succeed, which nearly happened last year, or he's gonna die by. Basically, that will be his downfall. And let's be real, after 2.5 seasons, well, 1.5, 2 seasons, it's gonna be his downfall. Because one of the biggest things that Arteta is he's stubborn. He refuses to drop the players when they pull out stinking performances. And the worst part is, we're gonna potentially sign a striker this summer, right? What is he gonna do with Havertz? Will we really have a 65,285,000 a week bench player? That's even more embarrassing to some extent. Havertz is at best 30 million player with 120, 130 grand paycheck a week. At best. Given his performances. Oh, but he's a space invader. Oh, he loves donkeys and everything. Yeah, where is that getting us? Big up Kwame. Big up Kwame. Long time no see. So they popped up at the end part of the stream. Big up today. Gabriel will be missed this season. Oh, massively. Massively. Yeah, Nottingham Forest is unpredictable, but they are solid. They at least have a striker. Murillo and Milenkovic at centre-back pairings are solid. Sells is playing out of his skin. Aina is good. Elanga is fantastic. Hudson-Odoi is amazing. Who else they have? Morgan Gibbs-White. All of them. They are very solid, proper players. And the worst part is, if we look at our attack, right? If you... Basically, Saka just has come back, right? From the injury. But if you exclude Saka from the equation whilst he was injured, our attack, at best... mid-table team. Our attack. Because every single team you can imagine at least has a striker. Has proper wingers. Has proper bench. Our bench is championship level bench. Our attack is mid-table Premier League bench. Attack, sorry. If you exclude Saka. Oh, Martinelli had a good game. That's one game. Just the game against Fulham for Martinelli was the best game arguably he has had in a year? Since the 22-23 season, arguably even. To some extent. And he had a few good games, and that's on par with those. That is also not great. Let's be real. Let's be real. Forest have more banging run and yeah. Only thing that may hamper Forest is that they get closer to the FA Cup semi-final and their players focus on that, slack off in matches. I don't think Espirito Santo is gonna allow that to happen as well. Espirito Santo knows what he's doing. Plus, they have players they can kind of try and rotate as well. They actually have some depth, let's be real. And you would think that after 2 seasons, when they buy about 50 players and sell about 50 players, they would have that. I know it looked reckless at the time, right? But now that it has all clicked, they have a somewhat proper manager in place. They look like geniuses, to some extent. But let's be real as well. The league is shit. Because all of these teams would not be where they are if United had their shit together, Spurs had their shit together to some extent, Chelsea had their shit together. Same goes for other teams. How has this league fallen that to some extent most of the part of the league are excited how good of a season Forest are having, Bournemouth are having, Fulham are having, Brighton are having. And those teams are 8th to 12th, 13th place. That is actually kind of nuts. The league has drastically fallen. But it's the best league in the world. No, it isn't. It's the best PR, most televised, most expensive. That can agreed upon. But in terms of quality, don't make me laugh. Genuinely don't make me laugh. Kivior isn't good enough. He will cost us the match. Yeah, he will. He cost us the game against Sporting Lisbon, I think, as well it was. He was one of the reasons why we have conceded quite a few goals when we have played this season. Last season as well. The goal we yesterday conceded, partially on Skelly, but partially on Kivior as well. I know it was deflection from Saliba that it went in, but Kivior could have closed down the winger sooner. Because until he got to our box, he was running straight line, giving all the space and all the time for the winger to pick up pace, look around what's happening, putting no pressure on him. And once he closed him down, it was too late. He already picked up the passing option. All of his teammates were around the box. He had just to play the perfect pass to them. Saka back, Gabriel gone. Yeah. White and Calafiori back to Madrid. White, I have no idea. No idea what's gonna happen with him because it's under question. Same goes for Timber. Calafiori is back in 2-3 weeks. So after Madrid, potentially even. So we don't know what's gonna happen there. Because there are rumors that White has having a child, not him, his missus, right? At the same time, there are talks that he has a knee issue. He has a banged up knee, knock on a knee, or something like that. Go figure. That is the big thing. Yeah, White has not played a full 90 since he got back after his knee surgery, so thought he would be match fit to last a full... Yeah, and just imagine, no matter who we play at right back, it's gonna be rough. Because it's against Vinicius Jr., right? I don't want to see Partey there. I don't want to see even Ben White there, because for Ben White to come back after the injuries, missing games, to such a high-end pressure situational match, it's be-all end-all. So, arguably, the Timber is the only one. Mikel Arteta has said that Timber is going to be fine. Right? He's just a knock, he will be rested. Hence why I don't want him to play against Everton as well. Let him rest. Be him prepared. To be honest, in case of Field, whoever's fit to play, we don't have many options. Yeah, that is the biggest thing. We don't have many options. That is a big, big issue. The thing is, we need to get past Everton as well. And as Hendon is saying, with no more injuries. That is also a big thing. We need to get past Everton with no injuries as well. And we are hanging by a thread. No pun intended regarding hamstrings. We are hanging by a thread. No argument about that. Calafiori is still injured. Yeah, that is the thing. At Emirates, 100%. Ben White was absent Tuesday. He was attending. But yeah, that was the talk apparently. But he's. Wait, let me check this. Because I read and heard that he has a knee injury, reoccurring one after the surgery and everything. Knee surgery expected back. Let me check. Arsenal versus Fulham. Ben White was listed as injury. He was listed as an injured. Not just missing, but he was listed as injured. Like, that is a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. Little players that injured free was this season. Yeah, can you pull up the list of which players are available for Saturday and Tuesday? Ooh. Let's look at that way. It's not too much to look at. Basically. All the pluses are injuries and they are not playing. Right? So, for goalkeeper, it's pretty much evident that it is David Raya, right? For defenders, Saliba, Kivior, Skelly, Zinchenko, Tierney, and technically Ben White and Yuri and Simba. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wingbacks and 2 center backs. 4 wingbacks and 2 center backs. Sounds good enough, but it's not too good enough. Let's be real. Midfield, Merino, Rice, Jorginho, Party, Odegaard. So that is pretty much a given. Midfield is somewhat the easiest one we can fill. An attack, it's Vanieri, Saka, Trossard, Martinelli. That's about it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 7, 8, well 19, but I don't call them goalkeepers. So 17 players are available for the game, right? 17 are available for the game. If we fill 10, there are 7 left. 3 of them are wingbacks, and 3 of them are forwards. In Sterling, Trossard, and Vanieri most likely, right? And 1 is a goalkeeper. And then there will be youth like Growler or something like that in it. So basically, we're screwed. We are screwed no matter how you look at this. Looks like they'll have to draft in some... Yeah, it will be. It's gonna be youth on the bench, and it will never get a kick of the game. This is the injury list we have currently. White and Simba are under exclamation marks because it's still unknown the degree and how long they could or are out for. Gabriel, Calafiori, Tomiyasu, Havertz, Jesus. Ironically enough, 5 of them are defenders. We had about 10, half of them are out instantly. That is not a good look whatsoever. Not a good look. Anyways, we have a few minutes. What is this about, by the way? I need someone to explain me this. Ahead of Arsenal's Champions League clash versus Real Madrid at Emirates, of course, there will be a full display across every seat at Emirates. Each seat will have a recyclable bag which supporters can hold above their heads as the players walk out of the tunnel. What the hell is that about? Seriously, what the hell is that about? What bags? Above their heads, are they just gonna or what? How many of the squad are out on loan? 6, if I'm not mistaken. From the main squad, right? From the main squad, Lokonga, Reece Nelson, Nuno Tavares, here we go. Here are the loans that are out on loan. Tavares, Lokonga, Hein, Vieira, Nelson, Marquinhos. These are on loaned out players. So it will... it's like Bundesliga levels. They are not gonna be Borussia Dortmund, let's be real. Sounds very cringe, I'm not gonna lie. So, Nuno Tavares, more likely than not, his obligation to buy is gonna get triggered by Lazio, right? It looks that way, at least for now, still. So he's there. So that leaves 1, 2, 5 that are gonna come back from loan. Fabio Vieira is coming back 100. Hein is coming back 100. Reece Nelson already is back at Soba Realty Center, and he's coming. He's doing his recovery necessary things already. That was reported yesterday, by the way. Marquinhos is loaned out to Cruzeiro, so his loan is gonna end on 31st of December this year, so he's not coming back. So that means only Nelson, Vieira, Jair, and Lokonga. Now, Lokonga has an option to buy for Sevilla. Whether they're gonna trigger that or not, go figure. I'll just put it that way. So, at best, we have 4 players coming back in summer. Kalheim, we gonna sell him. Fabio Vieira, not gonna lie, fuck knows. Reece Nelson, it's gonna be rough, but we gonna sell him. Sambi Lokonga, we also gonna try and sell. So basically, we have nobody out on loan that can fit into our squad. Maybe Fabio Vieira somehow, but I don't see it. So they're gone. These are all loans. We have 6 players out on loan. Marquinhos is till end of the year. Nuno Tavares is gonna stay at Lazio most likely. So the rest of them are 4 players left. And it's very, very rough pickings. Let's just put it that way. Very rough pickings. Let's just say that. Anyhow, some transfer crap. Basically, let's talk about some transfer crap. Jurrien Timber has only suffered a knock, apparently, and is expected to be fine. This is according to Sam, who reports for United. It's nuts, but hey, we're gonna allow it for a change. It's madness. So much money spent for so little. Yeah, that is the biggest thing. If like Nuno Tavares was 9 million or 8. Okay, cool. Sambi Lokonga, what, 17 to 20 million? Karl Heinz Academy. Fabio Vieira, 35 million. Reece Nelson is the Academy, and Marquinhos is 3 million. So Vieira 35, 60, about 70 million between Tavares, Lokonga, and Fabio Vieira. Sambi Lokonga, as it got sold to us, was told he's gonna be the next Yaya Toure. How is that working out? How is that fucking working out for you all? The next big thing, next Yaya Toure. Oh bloody hell, to say the least. Oh bloody freaking hell. But yeah, it's actually kind of nuts if you think about it. Anyhow, Timber is gonna be okay, potentially. Let's just put it that way. So, what else do we have here? Let me refresh so I lose just all the dross I have in here. Okay, Potsy. Nico Williams. Arsenal are considering a bid to Nico Williams. The club's management has already met with the player's agent. There is a big thing though. Andrea Berta met with Nico Williams' agent in recent days, blah 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 blah. The big thing about this is this. Arsenal will have to make Nico Williams one of the club's top earners in order to sign the 22-year-old this summer. The Gunners may need to offer, and I take a deep breath as I'm saying this, 250 grand a week to match his demands. 250 grand a week for Nico Williams. For a guy who hasn't achieved much in his career as of yet. He has 8 goals in 35 in something like 32 games in La Liga. Has won Euros. Have to give him that, let's be real. He was actually quite decent in Euros as well. But ultimately, 250 grand, that's another Jesus we are signing basically. Just without the injuries. More or less same goal scoring record, if I'm not mistaken, as Jesus. So, what are we doing here? Nico Williams. See, 25 games, 4 goals, 5 assists. Europe. It's actually kind of insane. It is actually kind of insane. It's a good thing, but it's a... Hopefully, I genuinely believe that this summer we might not see fully Berta in action. And what I mean by that is, I think also Mikel Arteta is on his last strings. I think at best, the ownership, the board are gonna give him one more season. If he screws it up, basically in the first part of the season, he's gonna be gone, right? But they're gonna give him one more season, give him his signings he wants, by the looks of things, right? If it doesn't work out, he's gone. And then when the new manager comes in, I would like to think that it's gonna be with Andrea Berta adding his input and what he would like to see, like Inzaghi, Simeone, whoever, right? And then we will start to see what Andrea Berta would like to sign. Because so far, given the situation, given Andrea Berta has come in, there are no new links. Only thing is, they just talk about Nico Williams and Gyökeres more than they did before. Sesco has gone a bit more quiet, right? And they are still the same targets we had last summer. And in winter as well. Still the same bloody targets. Which means that Andrea Berta might not do too much this summer specifically, just sold to the fact that they want to give Arteta one more year with what he wants, and that's it. The issue with that is, though, I don't think that's the right move, personally. When the transfer window opens June 1st. It shuts close June 10th, June 11th, just before the Club World Cup. Then it again opens after the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. It's gonna be in two pieces, right? Here it is. In the English football summer transfer window runs from the June 1st to June 10th, right? Then the Club World Cup happens. It's closed. And then it's gonna be opened again. Due to Club World Cup, it's gonna be closed for a bit of a time. Basically, that's how it works. See, it opens June 1st, closes June 10th, and then opens again. Transfer window opens early between Sunday, June 1st, Tuesday, June 10th, due to an exceptional registration period for the expanded Club World Cup, and it will then open again on Monday, June 16th, and run till September 1st. That's how it's gonna get run this summer. Which I think is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, but hey, it is what it is. Why just not keep it open during the Club World Cup? It's 6 bloody days. Who cares? As if anyone's gonna sign anyone big during that time. It's kind of insane. It is actually kind of insane, if you ask me. Exactly, as Hendon is saying. Like, it's actually kind of insane if you ask me. Anyways, back to Nico Williams. See? He basically... Wait. Overall balance. La Liga. Would be nice if it loaded a bit quicker. Here we go. See? 4 goals, 5 assists this season. 5 goals, 13 assists last season. 6 goals, 4 assists 2 seasons ago. This is basically Gabriel Jesus. Cannot score, can pass. Gabriel Jesus just can score a bit more. He passes less. But this is basically what Gabriel Jesus does at the end of the day. Because, look at this season, Nico Williams, 4 goals, 5 assists in 25 games, right? 4 goals, 5 assists. Gabriel Martinelli, this season, 25 games, 6 goals, 4 assists. So he has 1 more goal, same stats. As frustrating as it is with Martinelli in the last year and a half specifically, right? He has better stats, if you ask me. In Premier League specifically. And Leandro Trossard, 4 goals, 6 assists. Also better stats than Nico Williams. Make it make sense. Why are we signing a player who has the same stats? I know I'm going off GA and... But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. It genuinely is the same thing. Nico Williams is just a bit more pacier and a bit more flashy Martinelli at the end of the day. That's how it looks like. He tends to run the ball out of the play. Although he's exciting to watch because he can do a step over, a bit more dribbles, maybe take player on one-on-one. But ultimately, he is not specifically, in my opinion, possession style winger. Kvaratskhelia fits that description much, much more. For Nico Williams to be effective, he needs space. He needs counters. He needs place where he can run and use his speed to attack defenders. And we just don't play that way, do we? They just park the bus and we just camp on edge of the box. And paying 250 grand a week for this kid kinda seems nuts to me personally. Like, it is actually kinda nuts. Because he would be on the same par as Jesus, as Odegaard and players like that. And they already do nothing for the club. To some extent, let's be real. Jesus is injured all the time. Odegaard for the last year, it's just... what the hell is that? To say the least. So, make it make sense. Why would we sign Nico Williams, who has done nothing in his career, to some extent? Obviously, he won the Euros, but club level, pretty much. On 250 grand a week, when we already cannot get rid of the players we should be getting rid of, who are getting paid even more than that, or the same. Big up, big up. Nico Williams is overrated, another player that will not do well. Yeah, exactly. Under Arteta ball, 100% he's not going to do well. 50k a week and then we can't shift him when it... Exactly. For me, that's the thing. For Nico Williams would do very well under Hansi Flick. Hence why he was linked with Barcelona. Barcelona at the moment, they say they don't have money, but let's be real, Barcelona always have money, right? They just need to balance it properly. He would do well against Hansi Flick because Rafinha and players like that just thrive under him. They need space, attack, dribble, express, free roam, attack, left side, right side. You switch around, you can dribble, you can do everything. You have Lewandowski up top, low cross, driven cross, whipped cross. It works. For Arsenal, it's not going to work like that, is it? 250 grand a week. I'm sorry, but no. Just no. I'm like, Nico Williams is like Martinelli, just a bit better. Let's just put it that way. And Martinelli is on 180 already. So that is a big, big issue here. In other news, Arsenal are not going for Watkins. Shock. Like, in other news, war is wet. Arsenal have identified Victor Gyökeres as more realistic target than Alexander Isak. Again, in other news, war is wet. Odegaard is useless this season. Same thing. More realistic than Isak. You don't say. A guy who costs about 60-70 million, is on about 40-50 grand a week, is more realistic than a guy who would cost 150 and would probably demand about 200 grand a week. No shit, Sherlock. Like, what are we doing here? Anyhow, there were some rumors, apparently, that a 19-year-old Fran Gonzalez could be making his La Liga debut Saturday against Valencia for Real Madrid, with Courtois and Lunin both dealing with injuries. Now, obviously, that kind of concerns Arsenal because we play Real Madrid in Champions League, of course, as we all know. The latest rumors, though, state that Courtois could be back. Could be potentially playing against the Arsenal, obviously. Time only will tell, time only will show us if it's true or not. But to some extent, it doesn't matter who do they have in goal. Lunin, Courtois, or Fran Gonzalez. Because if we don't get shots on target, they might as well have Emiliano Butragueño in goal, for all I care. Like, or about what, 50-year-old Casillas in goal, for all I care. They're gonna do it. Put Florentino Perez in goal. If we don't have a shots on target, what does it matter? That is the biggest issue. But hey, we're gonna wait and see because I think we're gonna get chances against Real Madrid. For me, the biggest concern, can we finish them? Because our attack, well, the less said than better to some extent, let's be real. So that for me is the biggest worry. We're gonna get, I think, 2-3 chances, maybe 4 even, maybe half a chance, maybe a long shot and everything. But do I trust these guys up top to finish them? Under the biggest pressure imaginable to some extent. Kinda I don't. because they haven't done it still to this day. Always when going gets rough, going gets tough, they need to perform at the highest level under the highest and brightest of lights. When it matters the most, they flop the most as well at the same time, unfortunately. And that for me is one of the biggest concerns. One of the biggest concerns. And still the question remains, what will Arsenal do? Because one of the biggest things is specifically regarding Real Madrid. Because with Gabriel in the team, right, and even if Timber is fit, we have the back line we usually have, probably the game plan would have been score a goal, two maybe. We can sit back. Because defense for us is actually decently solid, so maybe we can hold out to a 1-2 nothing win, right? Maybe go to Bernabeu, somehow nick a goal, and maybe try to stink it out, right? But with Gabriel now being out, that plan is out the window. And let's be real, the only way I can see this working, right, is if at the Emirates on Tuesday, Arsenal actually grow some balls, as Kenny says, put their nuts on the table, right, and actually go for it. However, there's a big issue with that. If you try to basically go into a sausage measuring contest with Real Madrid, right, they have the biggest sausage you can imagine, so you're never going to win to some extent. Because the chances that when we play these chances that the smaller teams get against us, like Ipswich, Fulham, Everton, and they tend to miss because they have players like Beto, Jimenez, Adama Traore up top, right? Real Madrid have ballers. They have world-class finishers up there. Mbappe, Vini, Rodrigo, Brahim Diaz, Arda Güler, Modric, all these guys, Bellingham, right? They're gonna score those chances. So basically the reasons why we tend to win some games, even in Premier League, against certain teams, when they tend to waste their chances they get, you can bet your ass that Real Madrid is gonna punish us more often than not. And that, again, is a very, very scary thought to think of. So how Arsenal will gonna approach this game is a big mystery to me at the moment. Because there are multiple scenarios. And I kind of have an idea how this could go. Maybe we could play double pivot in 4-2-3-1. And when we defend, we crown the midfield in 4-5-1 or 5-4-1, even if we sit even more back. And then we hit them on a counter and stuff like that, right? But I kind of have a feeling that when Real Madrid is going to come to us, right, to Emirates, they're going to be the ones that sit back. Like they did against City, like they did in Champions League final against Liverpool. They're gonna sit back. We're gonna waste our chances. We're gonna get like 2-3, like against Borussia Dortmund did last year. And then, bang, one counter, two counters. They're gonna take control for a few minutes. 2-0 down. And that's gonna be it. Because as much as I think we maybe can get something at Emirates, at Bernabeu, we will be lucky if we can score if we don't lose too badly. Because people say, oh, Real Madrid are shit. Look, Leganes scored 2, who are 19th in La Liga. Real Sociedad just scored 4, and yeah, all this stuff. Real Madrid have played very bad this season. Very bad. Their fan base are on their cases heavily. Let's be real. I watch La Liga and I kind of know how this stuff goes, especially with Real Madrid fans on my timeline, right? La Liga and Champions League for Real Madrid are like apples and oranges. In Champions League, they just have that switch, they flip. And it doesn't matter. They play insane, they play crap, but they always get the job done and get it over the line. Because that's what Real Madrid do. That is the biggest thing. Anyhow, here is some Yellow Page story to get everyone pissed, wild up and vexed, by the way. Anthony to Arsenal. Who says no? According to Todo Fish Eyes, as I call them, fish eyes, not ficayas, but fish eyes, the yellow page, the son of Spanish football and all this stuff, Arsenal apparently have expressed interest in signing Anthony after being impressed about his performances at Real Betis. And that's about it. I don't want to spend too much time on him. In La Liga, he's doing fantastically well, don't get me wrong. But at Arsenal, no chance in hell I would take him. Exactly. The biggest thing is, Chelsea paid 85 million for Havertz, then they sold him for 65 to us. Knowing how this goes, United bought him for 100 mil, Arsenal are gonna buy him for 80. I don't want to see that as well. Yeah, he is. His agents, not himself. See? But he would demand about 250 grand a week, so not too sure about that one, Chief. He would be on 250 grand a week if we were go for him. If that is what Berta wants, then bring back Edu. I kinda get it. I totally get it. Anyhow, this is what Mikel Arteta said before the Fulham game. It's going to be a big one. Pause. Summer, he means, right? And we are very excited about it. So basically what Mikel Arteta says, we're gonna have a massive summer window. I've heard this story before. For how many years? I basically have lost count, let's be real. I've heard this about Arsenal every single transfer window. I've heard about the infamous war chest for over a decade. Still haven't seen it, by the way. It's like a Yeti, Loch Ness Monster, Megalodon, or something like that. People say it exists, but we don't know if it actually exists. Maybe you see kind of a figure, shadowy figure far, far away, but you're not sure whether it's true or not. Whether it's AI made, or whether it's just BS, or whether it's real. That is how I see Arsenal and the war chest and big summer transfer window promises, right? That's how I see it, at least. Yeah. Netflix FC in full effect, basically. It's actually kinda nuts. Yeah, we are next season FC Injuries FC, PRFC and BSFC. We don't need youngsters. We need players who win right now. That is for me one of the biggest things. We are not in another stage where we need to rebuild 55 times. We need a rebuild for the rebuild. We need to sign proven players, proven winners with a pedigree. Improve the squad. The main players maybe can get dropped to bench or vice versa, and go and win. That's it. Win now or GTFO. Win now or get sold. Win now or get sacked. That's it. I've heard of the war chest since the last years at Highbury and all through the end of the game. Yeah, exactly. Same thing. I've lost count pretty much. I've heard about the war chest. Oh, but we just moved to Emirates. We need to pay off the stadium. We have a war chest. Oh. The big thing is, reason why Robin van Persie left Arsenal was because his vision as a captain didn't fall in line with Arsenal's vision. He said it himself. He wanted improvements, he wanted someone better, he wanted to raise the standards, and Arsenal had different plans. Hence why he moved to United and he won the league. Fuck. So yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day in that regard, right? But the war chest has been flung and thrown around for what it feels like centuries. And Arsenal actually are that old, to be honest. But yeah, and still haven't seen none of it. I want one window where we go in, act like a big club, sign a massive players, we get rid of the bums, and there is no sentimental attachment. Because this is a business at the end of the day. It's not buddy ball. People say, oh, maybe keep him, maybe next season he's gonna get better. Oh, give him time. Oh, this is his first season and everything. If we did like that, oh my goodness gracious. If we are resolving to this. Because, like, what? Like, seriously, what? Get winners, get proper players, and that's it. Let's be real. He says we are not a big club, just a club with old history. Third biggest club in England, trophy-wise. Maybe not in recent times, but in general. And without Henry, we have nothing to show in football. Like, that is BS, because we were winning stuff before Henry, let's be real. It's just the fact that Henry is the player that has the most memories at Arsenal in the recent times and in modern era. Let's just put it that way. In these times. That's been imprinted more. Because he was him. Let's be real. At the end of the day, Henry was him. And we haven't had that him player since Aubameyang. We have had genuinely handful of those. Alexis, Aubameyang, Henry, obviously. Bergkamp, you could add to that. Cesc, to some extent. Oh, but give him time. Cesc was fucking 16, 17 when he basically was wearing his uniform as a bedsheet around and he was schooling everyone. Oh, but he needs one more season. Oh, but he needs. Oh, he's too young and everything. I fucking hell. Look at what Hansi Flick has done in his first season at Barcelona. It did not take a project of 5 years, 800 million to achieve what they have so far. Exactly. And I've given you one bigger than that. Xabi Alonso at Bayer Leverkusen. They don't have the most money. They don't spend much. First season. Nearly a baby treble. Final in Europa League. Bundesliga winner. Starved Bayern Munich's dominance for over a decade. And won Deutsche Pokal. Obviously, this season it's a downfall, which was expected, let's be real. But still, he's up there, he's second. Got to semifinals, lost to Bielefeld, Bundesliga 3 side, but hey, that's a completely different story. And he's out of Champions League, obviously, but let's be real, like, that's how football works. But in one season, 1.5, let's be real, he took relegation from Bayer Leverkusen to top of Europe and top of Germany. In 1.5 seasons, with countless times money less spent than this Spanish paella pulis Mikel a super duper Lego headed Arteta, he has achieved already more. In 1.5 seasons, Xabi Alonso at Bayer Leverkusen has achieved more than Mikel Arteta in 5 years with 800 million spent. Like, oh, but he needs time. Oh, we're gonna win the league when Klopp leaves. Oh, we're gonna win the league when Pep leaves. Well, Pep ain't leaving. Oh, we're gonna win the league when Man City fall off. Well, they have fallen off quite drastically. Oh, Liverpool are ahead. Oh, we are scrapping to get second because Nottingham Forest are behind us. Imagine how the season would go, this season, if Liverpool wouldn't have figured things out, right? If Slot wasn't doing his thing, imagine Arsenal are first, 4 points behind, not ahead of Nottingham Forest with 8 games to go. Imagine the downfall if we, for example, ball that. So with current situation, with our injuries and everything, right? Imagine if we lost it to Nottingham Forest. People just look at all these things like, people like to make what if scenarios, what if we didn't get injured and everything. What if Liverpool weren't as good this season, we were first and we were 4 points ahead of Nottingham Forest and they were within a striking distance and waiting for us just to fall off and we get the injuries we have right now. And imagine if we ball the league to them. Imagine. Look at it from the other perspective. And we have no attack and that Real will score. Yeah. Imagine if we play midfield, Jorginho and Kiwior as a center back. Imagine you're Mbappe. You dribble, you just run past Jorginho and then you have Kiwior against you. You generally gonna have a field day out there. Yeah, Hansi Flick is an actual coach. Exactly. and that Man City are bigger than club, then yeah, bro, at this point I don't see how people still have faith in Arteta. All he does is rail us long, thinking we achieve something, make us a joke, who balls everything and make us lose. Yeah, we just ball everything. And Leverkusen fans hate on Jabi Alonso now, ungrateful sons of it. They are just keeping him accountable because he showed what he can do last season. They want more. The appetite grows as you eat, basically. Let's be real. And I think this season, more than anything, maybe they expected. Obviously, they still are within a chance to win Bundesliga to some extent if Bayern lose some games, right? But I think the Deutsche Pokal game against Bielefeld, Bundesliga 3 side, where they lost 2-1 2 days ago, I think that has set them over the edge a bit. Because nobody expected that to happen, let's be real. Man City is still on course for the FA Cup win and Champions League. Yeah, exactly. The thing is, Arsenal are going to go trophyless again. Right? And now imagine, FA Cup. FA Cup semi-finals. FA Cup semi-finals. Look at the teams that can win the FA Cup still. City. People laugh at them because they have a fall-off. Nottingham Forest. They can still win an FA Cup. Crystal Palace can win an FA Cup. Aston Villa can win FA Cup. Crystal Palace with Tina Turner, Matt Turner, and a goalkeeper on the bench, and King of Zamunda, Edin Nketiah up top, can win potentially could win FA Cup. Aston Villa, ex-Arsenal manager Unai Emery, could win the FA Cup. Nottingham Forest could win the FA Cup. What phase is Nuno in? Behind us in the table, only 4 points by the way, and can win potentially FA Cup. Man City, arguably worst season in a decade. Rodri out, Haaland injured, still on course to potentially win the FA Cup. What are we doing here? Like seriously, what the hell are we doing here? Make it make sense. Brock has given club a historic unbeaten Bundesliga champions, top 2 team in Germany, and make them European contenders. Brock, he puts results. Arteta. Yeah, exactly. If it wasn't for him, y'all wouldn't be here. Y'all were today. Alonso raised their... Alonso raised their expectations because he showed that he can do it. Let's be real. He can do it again. Chelsea 1-0 up. Interesting. Spurs being Spurs, right? And he wins you trophies and not makes get showed about 0 trophies at all. Every time Arsenal get a win, 0 trophies. He can't even catch a break with the 0. Yeah, Nottingham Forest have won 2 Champions Leagues. Remember that. It wasn't bad when we were just winning just FA Cups. At least we were winning something. Exactly. That's the thing. Even Wenger at his worst times still got top 4. With almost no money spent, by the way. And still won the FA Cups on occasion. That's the biggest thing. In the last 5 years at Arsenal, Wenger got 2 times Champions League, 2 times Europe, and 2 times finished outside Europe, plus won 2 FA Cups. 3 FA Cups. 2 FA Cups. And has spent significantly less than Mikel Arteta. Like, what arguably washed up Arsene Wenger, who I'm not gonna lie, myself, I wanted him gone. Wanted out to the club, washed up Arsene Wenger in the last 5 years has done better than Mikel Arteta. And everything, but hey, I guess it is what it is. We have to live with this. Time only will tell, right? Let's see what brings. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow, Everton versus Arsenal preview. We're gonna look at the interview that Mikel Arteta is gonna conduct. I already calling this now. Mikel Arteta is gonna say that Gabriel's injury is a big blow, and it's a miracle that with these injuries we are still second, still in Champions League, because any other team would be mid-table. He's gonna again make himself sound like he's Gandhi. He has solved world hunger and stuff like that. He's brought world peace and everything. Basically, that's what he's gonna do. Won FA Cup and made us the kings of FA Cup. We are actually performing the reaching finals, destroying big teams and small teams. Exactly. That is the thing. But yeah, tomorrow, Everton vs Arsenal preview. We're going to look at interview. We're gonna look at hopefully something exciting. I don't know what, but we're gonna. Lol. Of course, predicting starting 11. We're gonna look at some things. Maybe there will be some updates regarding Timber, regarding other situations. But for today, I'm signing off. My voice is done. I'm about to go cough my lungs out because the cough I've been holding in for quite some time by just drinking is gonna send me into overdrive. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't, smash the thumbs up, subscribe, leave your thoughts down in comments below. See you all tomorrow. Big up Hendon Gunner. Big up my guy. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for sticking with me throughout the whole stream and chatting and everything. Big up, onwards and upwards. Big up, 100%. Big up Natalie. Have a nice evening. And big up Marlon as well. Have a nice evening to you as well. Take care. Stay safe. And see you all tomorrow.